Welcome, boxing fans, to Unbiased Boxing Talk, where we cover all the latest news in the fight game. In this video today, I want to cover the recent breaking news that Callum Smith and Billy Joe Saunders each turned down an offer for Canelo Alvarez for a super middleweight bout on May 2nd on the Zone. So let's just get right into it. First of all, I want to ask if you guys can please subscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate it if you guys would subscribe. I'm trying my best to put out as many videos as I possibly can, but I got a lot going on, but I'm trying to put out as many as I can, so if you could please subscribe to the channel, it would really mean a lot to me. And yeah, thank you for all those who have subscribed already, and please continue to tune in, and I'll try to always put out the best content that I possibly can. Anyway, let's get into the video. So this tweet from Mike Coppinger says Billy Joe Saunders and Callum Smith each received offers from Golden Boy for a May 2 super middleweight title bout with Canelo Alvarez on the Zone. Both offers were deemed unacceptable by their respective teams, and negotiations are ongoing. If terms with Canelo can't be reached, it is believed Eddie Hearn will look to match Billy Joe Saunders and Callum Smith in a 168-pound title unification match in early summer in the UK, where both champions reside. Hearn promotes both fighters. We also see here a fan asked if there was going to be a rehydration clause or if there was a rehydration clause in the contract, and Mike Coppinger says a rehydration clause hasn't been broached by Golden Boy in talks so far. So we see that Canelo Alvarez and his team, they know a lot of you fanboys out there with that narrative that rehydration clauses are unfair, even though they actually make the fight more fair. But a lot of fanboys give Canelo a lot of crap for that. And so we see here in these two fights, Canelo Alvarez and Golden Boy didn't put a rehydration clause in this contract, so that just shuts all you fanboys down, and that gets rid of that whole narrative that Canelo can't fight without stipulations. So there's that, and also they like to just ignore the fact that Floyd Mayweather put catch weight on a fight with Canelo Alvarez. Manny Pacquiao has done it before. All these top fighters have done catch weights, but Canelo Alvarez, the last time he did a catch weight was with Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., and that was, I believe, 164.5 pounds. And that fight was more of a money fight than a real fight. We all know Julio Cesar Chavez didn't have a chance at that fight. And before that fight, Canelo was fighting at 155 pounds, so he was fighting super welterweights above the super welterweight limit, so he wasn't draining any fighters. He was just bringing them up in a weight. But with Floyd Mayweather, he fought Canelo Alvarez at 152 pounds, and that drained Canelo Alvarez. But anyway, getting off topic here. um, we see here, Mike Coppinger says, or this fan says, Canelo and Golden Boy always trying to do something unfair in negotiations. Mike Coppinger said, didn't report about anything unfair. Fighters want a lot of money to fight Canelo because he's the biggest star in the sport, so negotiations can be, or I think he says can be tricky, is what he meant to say. Opponents command top dollar to fight Floyd and Oscar before him. And this is absolutely true. Canelo Alvarez is the biggest star in boxing. And obviously, guys that fight him are going to want to make the most money they possibly can make. They want to cash out in a fight they know they can't win. So it's obvious if Callum Smith and Billy Joe Saunders really wanted to fight Canelo, if they really knew he can beat Canelo, they wouldn't care what was in the contract. They'd sign that fight and they'd fight Canelo Alvarez because they would believe that they could beat Canelo Alvarez. But obviously, they don't believe they can beat Canelo Alvarez. They just want to make as much money as they can and sell their belt to Canelo Alvarez. So it just proves that. And I'm also going to go read a tweet from Michael Benson, uh, or an article posted by ESPN that he linked right here. Dan Raphael wrote this article. Golden Boy Promotions CEO Oscar De La Hoya, who promotes Alvarez, and Eddie Hearn and Backstream Boxing, who promotes Smith, told ESPN this. Or De La Hoya said, he's an idiot. Callum Smith is a good fighter and has an amazing shot of beating Canelo, and he turns it down. Sorry. Callum Smith turned down the fight, and he would have made 3 to 4 times the money he has ever made, and he turned it down. Um, I wish him all the best, and hopefully he can make the same money somewhere else. But Callum Smith, the most dangerous fighter out there at super middleweight, is out there, and he's bragging how he wants to fight the best, and he turns it down. What's wrong with these fighters? What's happening with the legacies? It's all business now. This is absolutely true. We see that whenever you fight Canelo Alvarez, you're going to make more money than you've ever made in your entire career, unless you're another big star, then maybe you'll make the same. But these guys were going to make 3 to 4 times the money they've ever made. There's no hydration clause in the contract, and they turn the fight down. That makes absolutely no sense. Why would you do that? Obviously, they don't believe in their skills, they don't believe in their ability, and they don't believe that they can truly beat Canelo Alvarez, even though Callum Smith is, 6'4", however long his reach is, and he has the most power supposedly out there at super middleweight, and he doesn't want to fight Canelo Alvarez. Like, come on, that's ridiculous. And we also see here financial packages for the two most recent Alvarez opponents, Sergey Kovalev and Danny Jacobs, were more than $12 million. So we see even Danny Jacobs in interviews after he said he got a nice payday from Canelo Alvarez, even though he had a $1 million fine for ignoring and completely not following the hydration clause in the contract. And Hearn didn't tell ESPN he did receive an offer for the fight from Golden Boy that we didn't accept. But Hearn said Smith of England. He said we turned down the initial offer. Of course, it's the fight that Callum wants next. Hearn said if we feel the offer is right, he will jump at the chance. So there's that. Yeah. So basically, these fights could still happen. Obviously, the negotiations are ongoing, and hopefully these fights get made. These are fights that make the most sense right now. Um, I'm really just disappointed that these guys would turn down a fight for Canelo Alvarez. The biggest fight of their career, the highest payday, the chance to take out the number one pound for pound fighter in the world. As an athlete myself, I'd jump at that opportunity. You always want to fight the best. You always want to, take out the guy at the top. You always want to come. You want to be the best. You want to prove that you're the best. And obviously, these guys don't want to prove they're the best, and they don't think they're the best. So anyway, Canelo Alvarez, no rehydration clauses for these fights. It's really just sad, man. It's disappointing as a boxing fan because these are two fights that make sense. Canelo's way down to 160 pounds where he's going to campaign at, and where he's going to try to unify all the titles. We also see Jamal Charlo even turn down an offer with Canelo Alvarez. So we see these guys don't believe they can beat Canelo. They just want to clout chase off of his name, and they don't really want any of the smoke Canelo has to offer. Anyway, thank you for tuning in to Unbiased Boxing Talk. Please subscribe to the channel. Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed, and we'll see